All right, it's live.
Oh, you know
So
what?
do we post this one live this time?
I was just gonna say that I don't think we have to post this one.
Oh, we don't?
I forgot it said that in the notes from the week.
Oh, well, it's already there.
You just don't have to post it, that's all.
Yeah, I don't have to post it. It's just there. It's hard to set it up like.
I'll go for it, Elizabeth.
What?
I was just gonna say that, like, why are you echoing? Sorry, it's like echoing on my end. The quiz that we're supposed to do now, did you know that you're supposed to do it like beforehand too?
This is weird. Really? Can you guys hear me good?
I can hear you good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm getting like weird vibes.
Yeah, it's kind of coming across mine too.
I'm wondering if I need to go out and come in again.
Yeah, you guys sound like robots.
Should I try that? I'll go out. Let's see if I can come in again because it's truly weird. I can't understand you. So I'm going out.
Okay.
Anyways, the quiz, we're in the same class, and like we talked about the quiz, like we're supposed to do the. Let me see this. And okay. So this is the quiz, and it says to like this quiz before you meet with your group, and a second time group presentation. That makes sense.
It said that once you opened the quiz?
Yeah, it says it once you open it. And so for the past like hour or so, I've been working on the homework to do it.
I can hear you.
How are we supposed to know that unless we open the quiz? But we don't open the quiz till we are with our groups.
That's what I said. That was makes sense. And so she was already on when she realized it. So I was like, well, I'm gonna start it now.
Well. I say we just take it together.
Yeah, okay. I think we're supposed to, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, but like, as you'll see what I'm looking at because it's weird.
Michaela's saying that once she opened the quiz, it said that we were supposed to take it by ourselves and then take it the second time with our group.
Oh.
But you wouldn't know that unless you opened the quiz.
Yeah, well, even in the instructions for the quiz, it says you should take this during your group meeting.
Yeah, right.
Mixed signal.
I have known until we opened. My roommate was like, hey, did you know this? Oh.
So are we starting the quiz then?
We can, yeah.
Because I would like to talk about homework stuff before we're done.
Okay.
I think on the prep it said that the questions from our review are going to be on that quiz.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like I read that. Lesson 8 individual prep. It says, step 1, please read lesson 8 in the online textbook. It is a review for the upcoming exam. The same problems found in this review are on the group presentation or group preparation quiz.
Oh.
So we can talk about homework and go through that because it's going to be the same, right?
I would think so. Hopefully it is, huh?
I'm hoping it is.
Because, yeah, it just says review for exam, so it's not called a quiz, so.
Dude, but even this quiz doesn't make sense. If you read the first statement, it says, while you are required to work together on this quiz, each member must submit their own. And then the next question, remember, you should take this once before you meet with your group. Like, what? You just said you had to do it together. But then you just said you can't. Like, what?
So we're going to mark true for the first one because we're doing it together, right?
Yeah. Well, mark false when you. I don't know.
That would be a good Q&A question.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mark true. I don't think she's really gonna care that much as long as we review it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. The first we've ever heard of that is once we open the quiz.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay. Which is categorical?
Wow, they are identical.
On her review, she said if it's a number or if it makes sense to talk about averages, then it is numerative and not, or it's quantitative, not categorical.
Yeah. So for this one, it's a randomly selected brand of toothpaste at the convenience store, right?
Yeah.
And heaven knows there's lots of those.
All right. Question 3.
Oh,
So from her online review, she said that parameters describe populations and statistics describe samples.
So 100 is a parameter and 112 is a statistic. Is that what you guys would put?
That's what I would put. So we get to choose more than one. Oh, good, because I was wondering how they were going to do that.
yeah. Once I actually read the whole thing, it makes sense. I get what you're saying.
Okay. What do you think? I think this one should be cluster because you have. Is that what you think? Because you have all these mini populations. You have this neighborhood, and you have this neighborhood. You have this neighborhood, and they're all different. But then you want to randomly sample from each of those because you wouldn't want to get them all from a high property tax area. Or because cluster sampling is used geographically often.
I had a hard time with that one on the homework because I didn't know if you would use stratified or cluster. I felt like stratified, you could group them into like this is the high end and this is the middle and this is the low, and then you could pick from each of those.
Stratified on the homework.
Oh, because in the cluster you sample everybody in the cluster.
And the clusters are just random, right? They're not.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I had a hard time with that one. Those were the two I had cluster or stratified. I couldn't decide.
okay, so let's talk about it, because stratified, you divide everybody into groups, so you have your different neighborhoods, And then that's the one that you randomly sample from each. That's the one that I thought I was saying. So the stratified.
I think so.
Better than the cluster in that, I think. Sorry, and I had those confused.
It's so good. I'm talking about it.
Is that what everyone thinks then? For the answer to question 4 would be stratified? Or do you guys think something else?
No, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I think you got it going the right way.
Well, I couldn't decide between cluster or stratified.
Yeah, cluster, because we don't want to sample everybody in the high neighborhood and everybody in the low neighborhood. You want a random sample of all of them.
Okay.
So I just submitted attempt number 1 because I was like kind of curious because I only had like 3 questions left when I got on call, and like I got all of them correct except for like 1.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Really
so what
good.
did you put? For number 4, did you put stratified?
yeah. Yeah, so I got number 23 wrong.
Oh, good. I didn't know how to do. If it's the same one as the homework, I didn't know how to do number 23.
Okay. You move on. That's what I was doing over on my. I didn't know if this is right or wrong.
So is the next one cluster? 5?
No.
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 Let's see. Choose a district and randomly select teachers.
Well,
Yeah, because it said the experiment is then conducted using all the students in the selected classes. Isn't that cluster?
That's what I thought. I think it's the only one where you sample everybody.
I guess. Like all confused now.
So it says that you do a simple random sample cluster. So you just randomly select a cluster, but then you do everybody in that cluster. And
because you're only doing the 4th grade students.
In
Okay.
selected classes. Using all students in the selected classes.
Okay. That makes sense.
You guys know which one this one is?
Number 6, simple random sample.
That's what I think.
SRF.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a chance to win.
Yeah.
Random.
So number.
Stratified?
Yeah, I think it's stratified. For number 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's stratified.
I know the answer, and it's stratified.
I love it.
Like, I know, so I'm like, ah.
Okay. Now we gotta go open stuff. Up 4.77.
4.771, round to 3 decimals.
Oh, yep. And so we have to 0. No.
No,
I gotta go back.
4.771. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's the correct answer.
$1.912.
Wait, can you repeat that again? I didn't hear you.
Oh, for number 9, 1.912.
Yeah, that's what I got.
You guys are correct. It's so awkward on my end.
You're our answer key.
Yeah.
True.
True, because that's already right there, right? It's just that little graph.
Is this just like one we already did in the
I
quiz?
I think so.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So for A, I got negative, where did I put that? Negative 0.165.
That's what I.
You did?
Yeah.
So we have to find the mean though first, right?
Yeah.
So what did you get for the mean? Maybe that's where I went wrong.
I think I got 38.075. My notes aren't very clear.
Yeah, that's what I got. Do we use that or do we round it?
I didn't round it because it was 3 decimal places.
Okay. Okay, so maybe that's why mine. So when we get down to deviation from the mean, that would be the, let's see, A, ODL, 37.91 minus 38.075. Did I do that right?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to look back. Okay. Yeah, so 37.91 minus 38.075.
That's because I wasn't sure if I needed to round it, so I'm glad we did that one together. So negative 0.165, is that what you said?
Negative 0.165, yeah.
Great.
If I say a number wrong, it's just because lately I cannot say numbers today. I keep mixing them up and saying them backwards. So, fair warn. Not trying to.
Let's see my notes. I have like a whole page of notes, but none of it makes sense because I didn't write very nice.
That's
you know, our teacher had a really good point. When we take our quiz, save your notes, you know, where you're making notes and stuff, so you know what number problem you're working on.
Oh, by the way, so are we just going to take our quiz and then meet tomorrow night?
Is there a new lesson?
Yeah, we have a lesson that's going to be due on Thursday night. It's do like regular.
Yeah,
so,
lesson 9.
I wasn't for sure if you still wanted to meet tomorrow night or because we also have that test too.
I took the day off tomorrow. There's no way I had enough time, so I had to take a day off work.
I should have done that ahead of time, but I didn't think about that.
I mean, there's just not enough hours in the day. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
So I need to redo my B real quick while you're getting ready. Because I rounded.
Do you guys want to maybe meet on Thursday? I know our quiz is due Thursday, but maybe we could meet a little bit earlier.
Okay, at what time?
I do an hour earlier?
Let me look real fast. I think I can be home by 7:30 Pacific time, so that'd be 8:30 Mountain time.
Let me just look. I have an 8 o'clock meeting, which is on Thursday, which is 9 o'clock Mountain time for another class.
So that would only give us 30 minutes. Where you have to go.
If we did, you know, I could do it earlier, but I don't know if you can. Or I could do it later.
Well, either way, I'm going to be in the car. I'm going to Missouri.
On Thursday?
On Thursday.
Fun.
What if we did it? What if we left it tomorrow night still? And I did test earlier.
I just don't know if I'm gonna be doing the test tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the lesson read.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm for sure the same problem.
But we can try it, and if we don't, we can maybe work it Thursday somehow. Does that make sense? We can try for Wednesday and meet, and then if we feel like we're not prepared, we can do it Thursday.
Yeah, because I have a big unit test in another class tomorrow too.
I'm taking the quiz tonight.
Oh, you are?
Go.
For you. I'm hoping to take the quiz tomorrow during the day, but then I've got to prepare for another unit test.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's our consensus?
You can try for tomorrow night and just see how it goes. I'm just not sure when I'm going to. I have to take it tomorrow night. I know that. I just don't know when, with all my other classes, I'm going to get that done.
I know. It's crazy right now, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, I need a breather. Like, can I put it in for that?
So I'm good Thursday. I could even just join for that first half hour, and then I would have to be gone because I'd have to join another study group.
Okay. At least we know our options. We can try for tomorrow, and then if it doesn't work out, we have at least a second game plan instead of being like,
Yeah. So same time tomorrow, or you want to go earlier?
Same.
Same time? Same time?
Not earlier.
Okay, perfect. Let's try it. That sounds good, girls. I don't sleep anyway with all this homework.
When do you have time?
But
When do you have time for sleep with all this?
I don't. I've been averaging about 4 hours.
Oh man.
I can't live off of 4 hours.
I know, but I have no choice. There's not enough hours. It's crazy. So on B, is it, we just take the square root of negative 8.25?
Yeah.
0.825.
You square it?
Yeah, square it. That's right, square it.
Thank heavens you said something, because I was like, where did you get the square root from?
I told you I haven't had much sleep.
You're fine. I haven't either, so I was just like, I'm missing something really big here.
So did you get 0.681?
That's what I got.
0.681. I need to remember to put that 0 in front.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, this one kind of didn't make sense to me because that was on the thing. I got D, none.
What was D none? I got, well, I kept going back and forth between standard deviation and variance. But then I decided on standard deviation.
Yeah, because the variance is where you add all those squared deviations and divide by n minus 1. So that's
Okay.
It wouldn't be the sample variance. Is that how you get the standard deviation?
I'm trying to remember why I have.
Yeah, that one I was confused on.
I hate it when you know you wrote something, but you don't remember when you wrote it.
Well, I
Yeah.
I wrote standard deviation from lesson 4. I should have wrote like something more. It's in lesson 4 somewhere that made me think that.
Okay.
As I said, I have a whole bunch of notes. They just don't make any sense.
Yeah, so it was just your thought process written down, but not like complete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go back and look.
I know, I'm trying to go back and look and see why I said that.
It's in section 3 of that. 3.2.
3.2.
Add a column whose values are found by subtracting the mean from each of the observations, squaring it, and multiplying it by the probability for that value.
It's not the standard deviation. Standard deviation is the square root of that sum. So on 3.2.1, rolling a die, at the end of that column, column 4, it says sum variance equals O squared equals whatever. That's why I kept going back between standard deviation and variance. Do you guys see that chart?
Yeah.
What lesson are you on?
Lesson 3? Oh, sorry, lesson 4.
Lesson 4, 3.21.
I met the wrong dice things.
So does it add up all of the numbers in that right column, which are the it's got a fourth column that we're not even using in that one. We've only got 3 columns in this one that we're using to answer all those questions.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of different because it has the probability. But I think the idea is the same because you have the value times the proportion. And then if you look at the formula at the top, it's x minus u squared times the probability, right? I think it's just a little bit different because it's probability. And ours doesn't have probability.
That's
right. So what does our answer book, what's our answer book say?
She's gone.
I'm still working on this problem. What's the question you're on?
13.
None of these is correct.
None
of
these
them
is correct. Oh, Tammy, we should have gone with what you said.
Oh, no. Don't trust the sleep-deprived woman.
Well,
I think that's all of us, though.
Yeah, but if you can't choose between 2, it probably was that. That's what I kept thinking. It was if I can't choose, it's got to be none.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too hard.
Standard deviation.
Of all the temperatures?
Yeah, so you add all the squared deviations and divide by n minus 1. Is that right? To get a sample variance. To get a sample variance, and then you have to do the square root of it. I don't know. What I got for an answer is 0.714.
What's this?
Let's see if I can find where that is. I made really good notes on that one so I could ask you if that was how you guys did it.
Individually, the lessons make sense. All pushed together, they're throwing me off.
Yeah.
Not in 4, though, I don't think.
So you took that sum
I took,
the sum of all of those squared deviations.
that's what I did. And then I divided by n minus 1, which would be 5, which is, how many of those are there? 4? 3? 4?
4 on there, so
4.
4 minus 1.
4 of them. I did 4 minus 1. And I got, and that gives you your sample variance, which is 0.51.
So okay, so 0.511.
And then do the square root of it.
Square root of it.
That is, if that was right, that's what I did.
Okay. I got 0.715 for that. That's what you got, Tammy?
I got 7. Yeah, I got 714, but that's because I rounded it too early. So 715 would be right if we did it right.
Right.
You said 0.715, right?
Yeah, 0.715.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I got. I just wanted to make sure.
Is that how you think we need to do it?
I don't remember.
What did our answer key get?
0.7.
Say it again.
Okay.
0.715.
I like having an answer book. I missed that this time.
Yeah. I know, having an answer book, I can like do it and look and then go like, oh, yep, I forgot that, and then add it and it was right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, I love question 15.
False.
False. Yep. Never could be negative. Oh, here comes some more of those cute seals.
Oh yeah, I had a hard time with this one.
So
I guess extra dural. Is that
right? Because why?
Yeah. Because it has the smallest standard deviation.
Yeah. That's what I think. Do you girls think the same? The rest do you?
Yeah, because it has such a low standard deviation.
Yeah, the others seem like they're a lot more scattered. So that would mean that the temperatures are more consistent. That deviation is very small.
It means it's not changing much.
Right.
I'm getting there. My brain's just working real slow. Oh my gosh, is it that same one?
Are we on 17?
17.
So the whisker on the left, that's,
right.
The whisker on the left is minimum, right? Yeah.
So yeah, it's the minimum, and then the next line is the first quartile. then the median, and then 8. That third one is the third quartile, right?
Right.
Yes.
Good.
So it'd be 8.
Yeah.
I know how since we've done these, isn't it? It's kind of crazy.
I just remember when they gave us that awful one where you had to like guess.
Oh yeah.
I was like, please don't be that one. Like, so I was like looking at that. I was like, please don't be bad. Like, I don't want to have to guess.
18, what percentage lies between 4 and 8? Well, most of it. So
50%.
would you
1, 2.
would you go that way, or would it's hard to tell because you don't know what's scattered. I just wonder if it's more like a like the bell curve, like the 68%. I don't know.
I don't know. I guessed 50 because of the quartiles. I had 2 quartiles, and I'm pretty sure that each quartile is 25%.
Right. So should we say 50? What's our answer box say?
I don't think it would be 50.
Do you think it's 68?
Between 4 and 8 hours?
Yeah.
If you look on that histogram, there's not that much between 4 and 8 hours compared to the 8 and 12 plus between 2 and 4. I don't know. That's so weird.
But that's not a histogram, right? That's the box.
I mean, box plot, yeah.
Box plot.
Is that okay? We're talking about the
You
same
got
thing.
what I meant. The
Okay.
diagram.
I just thought maybe I'd missed something.
I was going to get there eventually with what it was called.
So I don't know what to say. It's
There's
not 50 or if it's not 68. Because obviously that's where most of the data is. That's central.
Each quartile holds 25%, right?
Oh.
For some reason, I remember seeing that each quartile equals 25%.
So then the 50 would work.
Yeah.
But that's just what I remember. I don't know if that's right. It was more of a question. Do you guys remember reading that?
Let's look.
Yeah.
A box plot is a graphical representation of 5-number summary. I don't know. It sure makes sense. So the median though is, so if that's not the mean, but the median.
The median is 6, right?
Yes. So what's our mean for that one?
I don't think we know it.
If we know where
we would be adding everything up and dividing it by however many are there.
Hey guys,
Yeah, what?
I can't hear you, Michaela. Okay, I found it in lesson, going to the top.
3.
Lesson 3.
I was looking all over.
Now I gotta scroll back down and I lost it. Okay, lesson 3, 6.1 percentiles and quartiles.
Mm-hmm.
If you go down to past that exile instructions blue box to the next green box, answer the following questions. Number 26 says the quartiles divide a sorted list of data into 4 equal groups. So each group contains 25% of the data. The first quartile is the value that is greater than or equal to 25% of the data. What is another name for this number, the 25th percentile? So I just used that because it said it divided it into 4 equal groups. So that each group contains 25% of the data.
I think that sounds like a winner. And so we would just write the number 50.
Oh, so Michaela's going to start her exam now.
Okay.
So she's gone. That's what she was saying through text.
Okay.
Okay, so 50%.
50, 50, right?
50, yeah. Oh, okay, these are the ones that I had a hard time on.
Mm-hmm.
So to estimate the mean, we just add up the 1.59 and the 2.52 and divide it by 2, would you say, since we've only got 2 values?
That's what I did. I don't have any idea if that's right, but that's what I did.
It's an estimate. So 2.055.
2.055, that's what I have written down.
I don't see any other way.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either. Because we only have 2 things, 2 points of data.
Okay. Now estimate the standard deviation of the measured nitrate concentration in Rexburg's drinking water.
So we know it's normal. So we know it's going to be systematic, a bell curve. So could we use that 68%? You know, so actually draw a like a number line with a bell curve over it, and you've got your mean right in the center, which is 2.055, and then take 34% of that to see what it would be on one side, and 34% on the other side. So if you multiply it by 0.34, you get 0.699. And so that would be your deviation, your standard deviation. And then you could figure out what those numbers were by subtracting or adding 0.699. That's what I did. I don't know. It sounds really
I don't know why.
Do what?
I get what you mean, but I only comprehended half of what you just said.
Okay. So
no, I wish there was some way we could like watch you write it out, because that would really help.
I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so what I did is I just used that 68. I just used that 68% rule, you know, So if it's a standard distribution and we know what the mean is, we know what our average is. So I drew a bell curve. I just did a like that with the number line. And I plotted my point or at 2.055 right in the center, and I just drew my line up. There's my mean. And then I just drew that bell curve over the top, and I thought, okay, so we know that around that mean is 68% because it's a normal distribution. And so we want to know, what's going to be my highest and my lowest. And so I just, I know that if it's 68, that it's 34% on one side and 34% on the other side.
Okay.
So I multiplied 0.34 times that mean that we figured out, just to see how much to the left am I going to go and how much to the right am I going to go, to find out what that standard deviation would be if we're going to go by the 68% rule.
So you took 2.055 times 0.34 because that was your percent.
Yeah.
And then you got 0.699 for your standard deviation.
Because in the next one, it wants to know what points is it going to be between. And so you just subtract that 0.699 to find where it is on the left, going left, and then add it on the right so that you can see what your points are, where that deviation would happen.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because 23, I was like, I have no idea how to do that one. But when you say that, that makes sense.
I don't know. I remember watching her do that one video where she talked about sometimes just doing it that way. It made sense to me. So I don't know. I don't know if it's right, but it made sense in my head.
I remember doing something like that forever ago. So when we first did these problems, like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, there was another way to do it, but I can't think of what it was. And so now that you're saying that, I'm like, I remember doing that. Like, they would give you the weirdest things and you had to solve for in between. And I got it down like real well, but then I haven't done it in forever. So now it's like, nope.
Yeah. Forgotten.
Yeah.
Remember it.
Okay, so 20, you got 0.699, right, for the standard deviation?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and I got the first one as the answer for 21.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I got. 1.357 and 2.753. All right.
Next one.
Oh, thank you, Tammy. Tamley. I keep saying your name wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
23, I was really like, I have no idea. So thank you.
Oh, yeah. I hope it's right.
Makes sense, so I hope so.
Yeah.
If not, it stumped everybody, so that's hilarious.
I was going to say that's how I'm going to do it on the test, so whatever.
So this one we have to use the applet, right, after we do the z-score. Yeah. Anytime we do probability, we always end up at applet, right?
Applet, yeah.
Okay. Once I figured that out, everything made sense in my head.
Okay, that one I didn't know how to set up. Why didn't I know how to set? Let me go back.
You know the value, you know the mean, you know the standard deviation.
So you can figure out the z-score by doing, hold on, I'll find the equation. I have it written down.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, I just have to find my notes every time. And so it sucks.
Yeah.
You know what would be helpful is to have that on when you were just doing homework on a different color of paper, or outline it with a marker, or outline it with a marker, you know, with a colored highlighter or something.
Yeah,
I like that different color paper.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Just have like all the formulas on one paper that's a different color.
Yeah. So value minus mean divided by standard deviation.
What's your value?
Your value is your value is what they have to get in, the minimum score.
Oh, 500.
Score above.
You just use 500.
See, I'm coming around, but I totally just did the mean minus the mean. And that's I got.
That's why I didn't. Don't laugh. That's why I was like, I don't know how to set this up, because if I do, I thought it was the mean minus the mean, and I was like, that gives you 0, and you can't divide by 0. So
at least you didn't actually do it. I totally just did it and was like, why is it 0? And I was like, I've lost it officially. I'm so used to grabbing whatever value they give you on that first thing. So then I do that and I just look for me and just plug it in without thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, divide by. Okay, so negative 0.351. Plug that into the applet, right? For your z-score.
Right.
Yeah.
And then do you want everything above the negative 0.351?
Let's see. We'll score above. Yes, correct.
So 0.637.
I got.
Is that what you got?
Yep.
So I think what I did on mine is I think I rounded it too soon because it's so close, but it's like hundreds. 0.637.
Maybe I rounded it too soon.
Probably not. Should we do it one more time? Should we do it one more time, or did you get the same, Elizabeth?
I got the same, and I didn't round it.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So that's what we're doing.
And if not, you just change the z-score a little bit.
So 0.637.
It's the same, even if you do the
perfect
0.3509. It's the same.
Good. Okay.
Now below 600.
Yeah. So now you use your 600. You're gonna go left.
Yeah, I can remember doing this when I was practicing, but it's all gone now. So.
Okay, so now we do 600 minus the mean, right?
Right.
Okay, that's what I did.
And now we do everything highlighted below the z-score.
It says score 600 or above. So you're going to go to the right. Oh, excuse me, I'm on the wrong one. 25 below 600.
Okay, I was like, no, it doesn't.
Right, I was like,
I don't see that. I'm a really bad reader all of a sudden because I don't see that.
Yeah, below.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
What'd you get?
I got 0.684.
Below.
I did not.
What was your Z-score?
2.809. Is yours different?
Yes.
Like a lot different?
Yes.
Mine was 0.4787.
That's what mine was.
Okay, so let me see if I can. So you did 600 minus 542.3.
Yes.
And then I hit equal on my calculator, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I divide by 120.54.
Mm-hmm.
So I grab the right numbers. And so 0.47. Oh, you didn't round that all, right? So
No.
I'm not sure what I did, but that was way off. 0.47.
To 0.4, like what?
0.479.
Just say it was the calculator's fault.
Yeah,
It always is.
Yeah, 0.479, and then so what'd you get for the applet then?
0.684.
That's right.
0 point for below.
Yes, below 600.
Okay, yeah, that's what I got. I didn't have it highlighted.
Okay, I was like, please tell me that's right.
I was like, what?
I'm trying here.
0.684.
Okay. And then we don't have to switch anything. We just have to do above for the next one.
Yeah.
Yay.
Just moved it over.
0.316.
I think. Oh, I spoke too soon. Okay, so.
Did that work?
10th percentile.
Did that work for you, Elizabeth? That's what you got?
That's what I got.
Yeah. Do you understand it?
Yeah, I got this. This I understand.
Oh, good.
This, I was kind of like, whoo, like I have a lot of studying to do. Like I'll always remember it, but it always like takes me a while to like get everything in my head before I take a test.
Do you know what is the best? Go watch her video. It's an hour long.
I'm going to.
I
watched
started
it for a little bit, but then I was like, this is an hour long. I don't have an hour right now. So you.
I just started it, and it just like so far what we've done is like, oh yeah, yeah, it was good.
Like, read about everything.
And I haven't watched it all. So.
Yeah.
Okay, 10th percentile.
Okay, so that one says round to the nearest whole number. I got 388 for that one.
How do you figure the percentile? Tell me what you're doing.
I go to the probability applet, and in the area, I put 0.1.
Oh.
And then I only shade on the left side.
Oh, do you know why? It's because my Z-score was so off. That's why it was not working. Okay.
So I thought of it as the 10th percentile is on that side. Is on the left side. That's why I shaded the left side.
So 0.1. 0.1.
For area, I put 0.1.
Right. And you put that up above, right?
Yeah, in the area.
Uh-huh.
Not the Z-score.
Right, in the area. Correct. So the 10th percentile, is that a negative or is that a positive?
I think it's a negative.
It's negative.
Because you're in the negative.
Negative 1.282.
1.282, yeah.
Okay, all right, I got that right.
Oh.
Okay, like not to freak you guys out, but we only have like what?
Yeah, like
23 more minutes.
Yeah, this is awesome.
How many more there's not that many more questions. Okay.
Okay.
Never mind. I was starting to freak out, but
90th percentile. Here we go. That's easy, right? 0.9.
Ooh, it highlighted it for me. Wait, I don't understand. Did you get the same?
You just use the same one. Now you just want to know the 90th.
90th. So that would be shaded on the
Left.
Right.
All the way. 90th would be everything up to the right. Right? You wouldn't go up to the 100%.
What did I?
But it's going to be my z-score isn't changing for that.
Yeah, so this time you're going to use the positive z-score.
So
Yeah.
just 1.282.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
do you remember on the videos that they did from the class, if you have 10%, the 10 percentile and it's a negative, then the other will be the positive. Is that right?
Because there's only so much left. Oh my gosh, it equals 100. I'm sorry.
So 1.282, right?
Yes.
1.282.
Okay. Here we go. Find the first quartile. Distribution.
Oh, you guys we have to find the score for those. So you
Okay.
take your z-score and you plug it into that formula and solve for x.
Okay. So let's see.
So back to 25. You're going to take
Okay.
negative 1.282 equals x minus your mean, which was 542.3, times your standard deviation, divided by your standard deviation of 120.54.
So we're taking a negative and subtracting another negative. I didn't give myself room to write down what you were saying.
Okay, so I did the z-score, which was negative 1.282 equals x, because we're solving for x, the score that we need, minus the mean, 542.3, divided by the standard deviation, which was 120.54. So then I multiplied both sides by 120.54.
Okay.
Which gave me negative 154.532 equals x minus 542.3, and then added 542.3 to both sides. So then I got x equals 387.768. And then on here it says round to the nearest whole number, so I said 388.
To find the first, wow, that's a lot to find all the first quartile.
No, that's back for question 25. That's back for question 25. Because you found the z-score, but then you have to plug it into that formula to find the actual GMAT score.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's for question 25, not for the first quartile, for the 10th percentile.
Okay, so say the formula one more time. Just the formula, because I now found where I can write it.
The formula is z-score equals x minus mean divided by standard deviation.
Okay.
So the numbers that we have for that was the z-score is negative 1.282 equals x minus 542.3 divided by 120.54.
Yep, I remember doing that. And then you have to solve for the x. Oh, good. Okay, that's good. So that's how we find the first and then the third quartile. We'll use that same, right?
No, I'm talking about question 25. The answer to question number 25 I got was 388.
Oh.
Because you're trying to find the actual score.
You're trying to find the actual score, not just the z-score.
Oh, gotcha.
And so then you would do the same thing with the positive to get the 90th percent.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to 25 and change it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was what, 380? Would you say? Liz?
I got 388, but I don't know if you guys want to go off that.
You have to use the applet somehow.
Yeah, so we use the applet to get the z-score.
Okay. But
No, I got 388 for mine too.
Okay, good.
You're good. I just checked it real quick.
Okay. So then 26 would be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just double check. What did you get as the z-score for 26?
The z-score was the same, positive.
What did you get as the score?
So confusing. Okay, for the answer the GMAT score, I got 696. Oh no, 697.
Okay, that's what I got.
For number 20, for number 26.
For number 26.
697. Okay, we gotta hurry up though, because we're running out of time, and then we won't even be able to check if we got them all right or not.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that would be awful.
So I'm like, I at least want to make sure I did decent here. Okay, so find the first quartile of the distribution. So I can't remember what quartile means.
So first
25%.
Yeah, 25%.
25%.
And you're finding the first one, so it's going to be that negative, right?
Yeah.
Negative 0.674.
That's what I got.
Okay. And then same thing, we're just going to plug it back into that formula.
Negative 0.6774, right?
Negative 0.674, yeah.
I always forget the 0. 28. Third quartile. 0.674?
Well,
yeah, that's what it's going to be, because you take 1 minus.
No. But that's the z-score, right?
Oh, yeah.
So do we plug it into that formula?
And you're trying to find a quartile. You're not trying to find a score. You're trying to find the first.
It's 30. Yeah.
75%. So is that the z-score?
I would say it is.
How did you get the 674?
I went to the applet and I put in 0.25. That's 25 percentile. Or 25, which is the first quartile, right?
Yep, and if you put in 0.75.
Yeah, I guess you would just use the same one, right?
Yep. So wouldn't it be 0.674 for the next one?
So that's where I'm confused. So find the first quartile of the distribution of GMAT scores. That's going to be your z-score. I feel like that's not right because it says round to the nearest whole number, and that's just going to be. But it could be. I guess it would be 1 for both.
That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right because the first one would be negative 1.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right.
Should we go down and see how many more we can get right first?
Yeah, the next one's the third quartile, so we'll have to go to 29.
Yeah, let's jump 29.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Just to at least get them done, we can go back.
Right.
Yeah.
So consider the random sample in 15 students taking the stream 2. What is the mean of distribution? The sample of mean scores.
So
we know the mean's the same.
Yeah, 542.3.
This is the formula I use. I put Z as value minus mean over divided by standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size, because you have a sample now. And sample sizes always use that.
So repeat that again. You did the Z
Equals value minus the mean.
Okay, so the regular thing.
Over divided by standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size.
That makes sense. I've seen it before.
Because it's a sample. So that's one you always use for sample.
So would you do the 500 value? Or
yes, that's what I did. 500 minus 500.
Okay.
So sample mean scores. For some reason, I thought sample mean scores was just the standard deviation divided by the square root of 15. I don't remember what the.
I think you've got the n.
Then
the n is where you have to do the square root.
Yeah, n equals 15.
But on 29, the mean is always the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't, that one we don't have to do anything to, right? Because it's...
Yeah. So for, you guys are talking about 30, right? What is the standard deviation?
20.
Yeah. 29, this is before we skip 29. 29, the mean's going to be the same.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So the mean is...
The 54.2.
542.
Yeah,
Is it 542.3?
For the mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I put.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, now we're on 30.
Okay, 30, what is the standard deviation? And that's where you do that long thing that you were saying.
Well, that's what I did.
And so what z-score would you be using though? Because you're solving for a standard deviation.
What is the standard deviation?
You're not putting the standard deviation into your equation.
So for that one, the formula I had was standard deviation divided by the square root of n.
But so then you're just doing the square root of n to find the standard deviation?
No, because you're finding the standard deviation of the distribution of sample mean.
Oh, okay. So that's the one we need. We need that formula instead.
I don't know for sure. That's just what I used.
It's probably the one underneath, the one that was below that we need that other formula for. That made sense. So the standard deviation is 542.3. Is that right? Divided by...
The standard deviation is 120.54.
Divided by the square root of 15.
What did you guys get?
I got 31.124.
That's what I did when I did it that way.
It seems really high, but...
Okay. I got...
I have 31. So if you guys got it different, 31.12, 123. That doesn't make sense.
That's what you got. That's what we got.
That's what we got.
31. 31. Oh, okay. 31. 1.123.
Yeah.
I got 31.124, but I probably just rounded wrong.
Yeah, I didn't round it off, but
I think it's 123.
Okay.
And then the next one is what is the probability? Sample mean.
So that's our thing.
This is the one you use the other one.
The 600 minus 543.3. And then we just found our standard deviation, so we can plug that in at the bottom, right?
Yeah,
31.
542.3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I think, and then I think you have to put it in your applet.
Yeah, there it is. I needed to hear that. Applet.
Applet.
I was like, it has to be in there, so someone say it.
Alright, plug in.
Right. And you got 17 point. Wow, that's really huge.
For my z-score, I got 1.854.
Yep. So Elizabeth, did you divide by the square root of 15 on the bottom?
Just by the square root of 15? I thought it was a standard deviation.
Square
Oh my
root.
god. I didn't do a new standard deviation. I know what I did wrong. It's okay.
As long as you know, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
So I got 0.032.
0.032. Yep.
Okay. Save that. Go back. I'll go figure out these other two.
Are you sure this is timed?
It's not timed. The window to take the test is due at 11.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So we only have. Oh, I see.
We've got like 4 minutes.
So 28 is the only one we don't have.
Yes. Okay.
And we're 27. We weren't sure if we were right.
Yeah, well, I just went and looked on the book and it says the first we know is the 25 percentile. So let's see. I figured it would just have to be what we were doing though, because that's got to be.
All right, let's just do it, right? Because we want credit for what we're doing.
So are you guys going to do for 27 -1?
Oh yeah, it wants the round to the nearest whole number though.
Mm-hmm.
So 28 would be 1, and this would be -1. Let's just go for it. Because we want credit.
Right. I'd rather have some than none.
Right.
Is back in our little couple minutes to go try and do it again.
Save and go to submit quiz. But you know what? The unit test is more important, right?
Yeah.
Submit quiz. Oh, phew. 9:56. So.
Well, at least we know what the answers aren't anymore.
Right, and we'll know what we need to study, right? Yeah. And that's not a bad score.
So apparently your way doesn't work for the 68 values.
Oh no.
Bummer.
I wrote all those notes about it too.
Oh, bummer. Okay, so we'll go find that out one. That one we gotta research. Bummer. I'm gonna watch your video. Truly, it was so helpful. It just made sense. I would rather watch her do stuff than that guy on the other video.
Right.
Anyway, sound good, girls?
Sounds good.
We're going to try tomorrow night at 8:30, and we'll just see. Maybe we can text, right? We just text and say, I'm ready, I'm not ready, whatever, okay?
Yeah.
That might be easy.
See if I'm freaking out and I can't figure out a problem. Not on the test, maybe like before prepping. Like if I can't figure out something, you guys are going to hear it.
Right. Well, do that text thread. If we have problems, I would love to do that text thread. Just say, okay, give me an idea of how to set that up, or call me, right? explain something. So I would love it because I think we all have things that we're good at or we remember or we don't.
Yeah. I felt good yesterday, and now I'm like, oh, wow, I have a lot to study.
Oh, you'll do good. You want maybe go offline a minute and I'll give you an idea of something that's worked for me in the past. Or I guess I could just share it with you now. It's not a big deal.